So the intake came with these inserts, and they're for different angled approaches. I found that these actually don't align with what I've got going on with the small block. But these, even though they don't look like much, do seem to take up a lot of room in the gap and allow us to get those in there. It looks like these bolts here, there were 12 of them altogether. They're all the same size, roughly. Well, I think they're all exactly the same size, actually. So we've gone with that. I'm going to go ahead and keep putting this thing together. So we're going to put the phone up here and try and kind of watch myself work. If I can figure out a way to hold the phone up here. Let's do this. Okay. That's a pretty good view. So we're installing these. They're flat. They drop in. I've got to be careful about the opening here because, you know, I'd hate to have to take apart what I'm just now building. One of the big concerns about this center section is the difficulty to reach in there and put things in. So, like tools, I can't necessarily just get my torque wrench in there. I'm not sure how I'm going to torque these down yet. The other thing is that these were painted originally, and the paint seems to be causing me a little grief in places. Not everywhere, but they got paint down in the threads. I'm not sure why this went in really easy over there, and it's giving me trouble here. Let's turn that around. I think my angle of approach is off. How did I do that side? Okay, so I did the big loop up. A little big loop up and see if that helps me with my angle. There it is, I think. Maybe. Well, at least using my fingers, I don't have to worry about stripping something out or cross-threading it. But getting the angles is definitely not as easy as I thought it would be. For some reason, the one side went together easy. Like, real easy. This side, it's like I'm caught on something on both of them. Maybe it is just paint in the holes. I'm going to go ahead and take that adapter out. How do I fit without it? I fit clean. So it has to do with this piece here. It just doesn't want to line up right. Maybe it causes a little too much pressure. I don't know that I can go without them completely. They act kind of as a washer. Maybe I can loosen the other side up a little bit. I didn't crank them down. So that should give me a little bit of play maybe. I don't know. I was hoping this would be a quick and easy deal and I could just be happy and on my way, but honestly, I'm wondering if I have to have them at all. Oh yeah, I do. There's nothing. That's not good. There's no washer, so the shoulder goes right past. Now, if I switch to these other blocks, that puts me at a horrible angle trying to go in. So these ones here have this angle to them, and I just don't see how that gets me where I need to be. As a matter of fact, it's not even close. So it has to be these shorter ones. And the shoulder seems to be appropriate. But I think I just have to give it a little muscle. I don't know. I wonder if I could start it above and then drop it in. I mean, sounds like a good idea, but it doesn't mean it is. Oh, actually, I got in. All right, that one went. Let's see if I can make this one go. I'm in. All right, so again, torque. I haven't figured out how I'm going to get my torque wrench in there to do these. and torque them correctly. But I'm in. I'm started. I got all 4 in. Those were the hard 4 to do. So, to be continued. Let's pause. Well, no, you know what? I'm going to keep going. You guys can just stop if you want to. You can keep going. This might be my longest video, actually. Let's see how these work out without washers. That is a big concern of mine, is I don't have washers. And these are an Allen head, so they might just drop right in. Looks like they barely catch at the top. So this may be a going back and finding washers is a requirement, because they sit in so tight. The shoulder goes right to it. Of course, that looks cool. Maybe that's the direction we want to go. We want that shoulder to be right into the aluminum and tighten it down. So we're going to give it a shot. That's all I'm going to say for now. We're going to put it together. We'll torque it down, see if the torque works. If I have struggles with the torquing, we'll know that, we got to do something different. We don't know what yet, but we'll do something different. Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty well with the whole right to the shoulder. One side is going in easier than the other this time. It's kind of odd. Seems that on this end, the what would be considered the driver's side in our American cars, went right together, but on the passenger side, they're struggling. So I'm gonna have to figure out if that's an issue from my work or just because the aluminum is a little bit off. The ones in the rear went right where they were supposed to go, tightened right down. So could just be these 2 holes in the front that don't want to quite go where they're supposed to go. So the rest of them seem to go in at the right angles. And they're seating. So, all right. So we're started. Let me grab an Allen wrench. And we'll go from there. Never in the first drawer. No. All right. Well, I got to find the right size. Okay, so we are at looks like 5/16, no, an 8. Let's see if this actually drops down. All right, so it is metric, kind of odd. It's a super tight fit metric, but it works. Now here's where I know I'm going to run into issues. Let's get a long extension. Well, short extension. We're going to try this by hand. Try and get them all snugged by hand. Oof. Yeah, it's not working the way I wanted it to. All right. All right, we're getting it right to it without going tight. All right, that one popped right in. I'm sure some of you are saying you're doing that wrong. You're supposed to crisscross your pattern, whatever. I will do that when I torque, and at the moment I'm just trying to get everything down and just barely hand tight. The goal here isn't to set it to spec yet. It's just to get everything in and have it ready to torque. I've always found that if I can do that, I can take the extra time to make sure that I get my torque set correctly. Now, these inners are really a concern. See, I got no, I hope you guys can see this. There's no way in directly. So I'm going to try a wobbly socket and see if that'll get me in. The issue I've got with a wobbly, though, is does that mean I'm going to have to try and torque with a wobbly? And I just don't like the idea. It feels incorrect, you know. Oof, it does not want to do this. So I'm gonna keep trying with other options. The socket route might not work. If the socket route won't work, that leaves me with trying to plan how I can do this with the actual bare base craft, you know, Allen wrench. Here they are. I don't like it for a few reasons. The main one being I can't measure my torque spec if I'm using it with a standard Allen key. So bear with me. I'm gonna just snug them down gentle, and I still don't know how I'm gonna get in here and do them for torque. Always open to suggestions. I was able to get a little angle on there. Does seem to be going together okay. All right, we're hand tied all the way around. At this stage, I need to take a break, step back, figure out how I'm going to torque this. It may just be figure it out by hand, get as close as I think it needs to be. I've got them all to snug. Do I go snug in a quarter turn? I'll figure that out. I'll do some homework, and then I'll create another video. Thanks, everybody.